Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video. Now, these type of videos are my favorite because what ends up happening is I end up getting a lot of people messaging me saying, "Hey, I can't believe you're giving away this stuff for free. I've paid for courses. I haven't even got this level of value." So essentially, I get to give away a bunch of value, and I get compliments doing so. Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. So we'll get straight into it. Now, what you can do is you can use this document as like a standard operating procedure for you. Or if you're lazy like me, then you can turn this into deliverables and give to a virtual assistant while you chill and eat some pizza and watch the money printer go. Yeah, it's up to you how you do this. As you can see here is an example of someone in a consulting program. Consulting student JP literally took him from like 0 to 50k a month to 70k a month within 90 days, and this was an example of one of his models accounts. So as you can see, I'm not preaching a bunch of nonsense here. This is stuff that works, and it works for me and it works for others, so it will work for you. You just need to implement it. Now going back to like the actual roadmap that we take our consulting students through in terms of getting them to 50k a month in 90 days, it's this section here. So it's unit 4, the promotional system. And what happens is we do a strategy consultation where we look at the models account who you got. I personally recommend working with pre-existing models who've already got an audience because you can scale them a lot quicker. We'll do a strategy consultation. We'll implement a promotional campaign test and worksheet to make sure that we're got a strategy when it comes to promoting the models. They love to see a strategy in place and not just a bunch of guesswork happening. So we do that. And then we actually create the promotional campaign for you. Then all you need to do is launch the promotional campaign, and then you can be achieving 50 plus subscribers a day. And this is essentially here, and we implement a $3 an hour virtual assistant promotional specialist and has internal training and can just do this for you. So within the promotional campaign, we'll pick particularly 3 different promotional mediums for the model. And if it's Instagram, then this is the promotion platform we implement, then this will be good for you, and you can just give it to a virtual assistant. But we have a whole deliverables that we basically just give to this virtual assistant and have them do for you, so you can continue to scale as many models as you want on Instagram with that one virtual assistant. So going back to this document here, we'll get straight into it. So step 1 is setting up the profile, which everyone needs to do. So the first thing you need to set up is a display picture and a bio, okay? So the profile picture needs to be an eye-catching image that embodies your model's brand persona or the unique selling point or the USP of your model. So if your model has big boobs, feature that within the profile image itself. If she has long legs, make sure you feature that within the profile picture. So as a general basis, whatever the number one compliment your model gets, that's going to be her unique selling point and her essentially a little niche for the model. And her socials should be structured to reflect that. If your model's got big boobs, you're not reflecting that, then you're not doing a good job in optimizing that profile. If your model is very tall and she attracts guys who like tall girls, then again, you need to make sure that your social profile reflects that. Now, a call to action bio is also important. So you need it to make sure that you're actually pushing people, not just getting traffic, you're pushing them to where you want that traffic to go, and encouraging users to check the link for a special offer or exclusive access. And lots of people are very boring with this. I see it time and time again, spicy link. Check out my bio for a spicy link. Again, that's just been used so often. So be creative. For example, taking boyfriend applications. That's something that's a little bit more intriguing. Taking boyfriend applications. Oh, under that, click on it. Oh, it's OF. I can talk to her on here. So again, just be a little bit more creative with it, because you're going to then get a higher click-through rate, and a higher click-through rate does have massive impacts. For example, one of our students who was getting tons of impressions for his model, tons of impressions, but they just weren't converting. And it's because his call to action was weak. And then as soon as we fixed that call to action, we suddenly had a spike of people going to the OF and subscribing. So you need to make sure that each process or each step within the funnel works. Then you have story highlights, so you can create a dedicated story highlight named OF, and then you can have a nice picture of the model with a link to the OF. Again, it's another call to action that you're featuring on your page. Now, the account type, personally, we switched to a business account, so we get to see the insights for the model. and we get to unlock some other features for it, for the actual growth of the account. And we typically select the business under fashion model. All right. Now, nice and simple. Step 2, follow 25 OF creators. So you need an engagement strategy. You need to initiate interactions by following and engaging with at least 25 creators within your model's niche. Now, the reason we do this, we want to curate the actual feed itself, so we get to see trending content come into the model. And we also want to tell Instagram what this page is about, so it can recommend it to the correct people. Now, step 3, an organic Instagram strategy. Now, I'm going to keep this nice and simple for you. We have a few different content types. First is single post. Okay, so share high quality lifestyle images of the model showcasing diversity in locations, angles, outfits, and aligning with the target audience's preferences. Okay, so it's just a very simple Instagram post which needs to have a little bit of diversity every time you do it. Now we have carousels, which is where you use multiple photos so they can actually swipe through on the Instagram. Now this is good to incorporate this because it increases essentially the viewership time, and increasing viewership time is going to boost engagement, and it's also going to boost the account's reach as they notice, okay, people are checking out this content a little bit more. So use captions that create curiosity and encourage them to swipe through. So for example, would be my last pick with the eye emoji. Again, a little bit of curiosity is going to motivate them to swipe. The whole purpose of that is to get them to swipe. Now we have reels. So capitalize on trending content and replicate popular formats to ensure a broader reach and engagement. So Reels is a strategy that you do need to incorporate, and ideally Reels that are trending on the Instagram environment are going to do best. So make sure that as soon as you see a trend, you're creating a reel for that and getting it uploaded. Now we have stories. So we use daily sequences of stories, which is designed to push them through into subscribing to the OF. Whether it's a story sequence talking about an element of the model's day, whether it's a story sequence talking about an interaction she had in OF. Again, it just needs to be around the OF, and it needs to be a little bit storytelling, and that's where you can kind of build up more rapport, because it's a little bit more intimate than just uploading posts onto Instagram. It's a way to retarget that audience that you're already getting and warm them up to subscribing to the OF. Next, we have optimizing for the explore page. So to get on the explore page, you need to incorporate tags. So you can use tags for different locations. If the model's at a beach, tag that specific beach. If she's at a particular restaurant, tag that restaurant. If she's wearing fashion brands, tag that. That's going to increase that discoverability, which is then going to push her to that explore page, and it's going to allow people when they scroll down to actually just see her content more often. So getting on the explore page is essentially the equivalent on TikTok and getting on the For You page for people. So it's a really important thing that you want to be getting on, and the way you go about doing that is through using tags of other Insta pages. Now we have post strategies. So engaging captions and hashtags. So create engaging captions that prompt interaction. And then you want to use a few hashtags. So whether your model's in a particular niche, like a cosplay model, then you want to use hashtags around the cosplay theme, and that's going to get promoted to the audience who likes that particular cosplay scene and scenario, and then they're going to then subscribe or follow the model and go through to OF. Now, step 4, IG paid promotion. So you've got organic. What we do is we set you up with a deliverability package, which you can then give to virtual assistants. They can just do this every single day and make sure they're just ticking this off when it comes to uploading the model's content on Instagram. Now, paid promotion and Instagram shoutouts is one of my favorite, because Instagram shoutouts is just so scalable. It's really insanely scalable, especially if you've got a good back end for OF. You know that you can get a good lifetime value from those who are subscribing to the model's OF. Then your upfront costs go down significantly. And a common thing in the online space is cost per acquisition. So how much does it cost to get a subscriber on the OF page? Now, typically other businesses, their cost per acquisition is really high because it just naturally is. But with OF, because the lifetime value of a subscriber can be so much, like one subscriber could potentially be worth thousands, then the actual cost per acquisition goes down significantly. So we can afford to spend more on Instagram shoutouts because we know we're going to make up for that in the back end. So Instagram shoutouts, we have a whole strategy that we outline. Of course, again, we package it up for the virtual assistant. But very simply, we identify Instagram accounts within the model's niche. So the model's a cosplay model. We find other Instagram cosplay models, validate the audience demographics and engagement metrics. So we can use different tools online to look at the engagement. We want to make sure it's at least a 5% engagement. That means that she hasn't got a dead audience. And that we're also making sure that the demographic is where we want to promote to. So we don't want to be promoting on pages which have 80% demographics of India, for example, because they don't have that much spending capacity. We want to be getting mainly Western audiences. And once we validate that, then we buy a shout out. It could be anywhere from $10 to $50. We get either a post on the model's main page. We either get a post on the story, and then the followers check out the story of that post, and they go to our model's Instagram. We can get a bunch of followers there, and then we can retarget them with stories to get them over to the actual OF page again. And we have a Instagram shout out tracking sheet, for example, which we utilize. Again, the model, the IG page name, whether it's a Western audience, the male audience percentage, the engagement, the type of post that we're doing, the price of it, followers gained. So we can see whether that particular Instagram shout out was actually worthwhile. And the number one thing I see in people who are successful is tracking. They track and they know their numbers. When I'm speaking to them, they know their numbers. You need to know your numbers. Don't skip this stuff. So you can, whether you want to just join the program, get all this stuff handed to you, or whether you want to create this yourself, you need to know your numbers. Because there's going to be some shout outs you do which aren't successful. There's going to be some shout outs that are successful, but as long as you find the ones that are and you double down on the ones that are, then you're going to see success from the strategy. Step 5, IG growth hacking. So growth hacking is using the platform in a way that's not intended to get lots of traffic. So you can utilize multiple accounts. So you employ what's called a mother-slave method. So you have a mother account and you have the slave accounts, and you upload and redistribute the content on the slave accounts, tag the mother account, and then you can then have multiple accounts that are getting growth and pushing that traffic towards the OF. And you can grow the mother account very quickly by just having just 3 or 4 slave accounts. So that's the strategy. And on the actual slave accounts, you can expose a little bit more provocative content, because if the account does get banned, it doesn't matter, because you're going to have the traffic going through to the main or mother account, so it doesn't matter anyway if that account does get banned. So they're kind of burn away accounts where we upload pretty explicit content, and we can get lots of traffic real quick, and we're making sure to push that traffic somewhere so that when the account does get banned, we can just rinse and repeat. Next, we have the Reels growth hacking strategy. So transform TikTok content, download it, put it on Instagram, so you can leverage pre-existing Reels that have been created on platforms such as TikTok and redistribute them again over to Instagram. And we can put them Reels on the mother and the slave accounts. Then we have the Instagram auto response strategy. So you can actually configure automated responses, which initiate conversations with people who follow the account or people who message the account and push them towards the OF content. So we have a whole automation when it comes to that. Basically, we're treating the Instagram following list like an email list, and we're making sure to retarget them and nurture them through DMs and stories. Now, step 6 is implement a live stream strategy. So strategic live stream sessions discussing engaging content, particularly after viral posts, can drive immense traffic towards OF. Again, it's another form of retargeting where not only does it help boost the reach of the Instagram page, but it's a good way to retarget them as well. So you can actually speak directly to the audience. They can be asking questions, and then the model can then be answering them and not mentioning the OF, but thanking people who do subscribe. And when they do say, "Oh, thank you, Dylan, for subbing," then they're going to kind of hit on, and they're going to be thinking, "Oh, they're subbing to the OF." Now, step 7, IG mother slave exploit strategy. So this is the exploited strategy. So posting more semi-exposed content. The more exposed you do on these slave accounts, the better, because it's just going to get more traction. It's really not how you're supposed to use it. And you need to make sure that when you are doing this, that you have proxy set up so it's decentralized away from that main account. So the main account's not going to get banned through you doing this strategy. So you can have, you can use an anti-tech browser, such as Dolphin Anti, and create lots of different profiles, have lots of different Instagram accounts under those profiles, and post semi-exposed, kind of explicit content, and redirect that traffic by having the model tagged in the bio. And then, as soon as that account gets banned, spin it up, create another one. Now, step 8, Instagram comment bot. So good for engagement, and it's good for getting traffic as well. So you can have a comment bot that is targeted towards the male audience. So you have these pages such as football pages, MMA pages, just gaming pages. So just male audience focused pages. And you can have the model via a comment bot be commenting on those posts as soon as they get uploaded, so they get seen more. And you can have the comments structured in a way that incite engagement. And my favorite way to do this is through stupid comments. So it's kind of like on a football page, for example, go, oh, didn't this guy get signed last week? That's a very stupid comment. You're going to have lots of people going, no, he didn't get signed a week. He's been at this football, he's been on this football team for years, been doing this for years. But even though it's just obviously a stupid content, you're going to get people who engage with that, and because they like to be telling people that they're wrong, because Instagram is kind of, if you go to any Instagram comment section, it's just going to be mainly hate focused. So it's a good way to actually get seen very quickly by lots of people. Now, step 9, the Instagram follow automation. So it's something that we do use, particularly on accounts which are just growing. Once an account gets to like 5K, 10K followers, it tends to just grow organically. But until that point, I recommend using an Instagram follow automation. You get these different platforms such as Phantom Buster that can do it. But you want to utilize a follow and unfollow method. So you target a particular page. So whether it's a different OF model within the same niche, follow her followers. They're going to follow you back. And then you can then unfollow, or you can block the people who didn't accept the actual follow request. And then you can keep on doing more followers again. So typically it restricts you around about 25 to 50 follows, especially on new accounts. But it's a good strategy to initially get that traction and get that growth, especially on a beginner account. So I hope this video has been of value to you. Just covered basically the basics of these different strategies that we're incorporating at my ANC for the models that we're managing. Now, you can do this all yourself. You can build these resources yourself, build these bots, build these automations, build these strategies, go at it yourself. Or you can just join a program which is 90 days long, where we literally walk you through step by step everything you need to do, has clear set in progress, clear customer feedback and review, very clear in terms of the overarching strategy. And then we get to promotion, create this promotional campaign for you, put a virtual assistant who can do this, and then you can just watch that model's account grow. So yeah, it's kind of up to you how you go about doing it. But yeah, personally, I would recommend booking in a call down below, and it'll great to be speaking with you guys. All right, so see you in the next video.